Yeah, but... Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get it started. We start with the Patriots versus the Dolphins, or Squish the Fish. Do you remember that in 1986? Yeah, well, right. Yeah, shirts. Did you have a shirt?
I did not.
Oh, you did not? I wish I wanted to. I couldn't afford one. Couldn't afford one at the time. Shows my midriff. Very good. Yeah, that was 1986 reference, right? 85, I guess. Wow. All right, so we were thinking there was going to be a close game, right? We predicted all the Patriots would win, but we thought they'd have trouble, right? Well, boys, we were wrong. They didn't have any trouble. I mean, that was a beating down, right? I mean, from offensively, defensively,
special teams,
right
through,
through
and through.
How is it
when that ball sailed by him, and he's standing there thinking about something else, and the ball sailed right by him in the end zone? That was the game was over right there.
But is it, when you're watching a game, is it as much the Patriots are just that good, or the Dolphins just got completely exposed for the frauds that they were from the last two games where they just destroyed teams?
Yeah, the Dolphins, they came in supposedly bolstered by their previous performance, but geez.
Scored 41 points in the first half against the Texans, and then didn't score a point against the Patriots. That's got to be never happened before, right?
I got to tell you, is it me, or is every time you hear a lot of Ninkovich, they're just commanding the other team?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is...
He's clutch.
Yeah, well, if you got a lousy right tackle, he's
going to own him.
Yeah,
look at the Jets game. He knocked down, 4 or 5 of Fitzpatrick's passes.
Yeah.
And he's not playing as much.
Malcolm Butler would have given up 4 more receptions if he hadn't.
Because
they were all for Decker.
But Ninkovich played like 98% of the plays last year. But I think they're having him. He's not playing as much, I think.
Well, they are right now because Shead is injured. If he was in there to help the rotation, he'd get less snaps. But he's still, I think, up in the high 90s.
And he very surprised. Is it Williams? Is Williams the guy they brought? He gets more snaps than your boy Mayo.
Yeah. Well, Mayo's done. But that's good that you bring up the linebackers. Here it is, of course, Ninkovich, who I kind of call a hybrid, right?
Yes.
He's on the. He puts his fingers on the ground.
Now he plays defensive end for the most part.
But is it? We don't get enough publicity. We may have the 2 best linebacker duo in professional football right now in Hightower and Collins. What do you think? I mean, this monster
guy isn't so bad.
No, right.
Well, especially because now they're always in these specialty dime packages. You're only using 2 linebackers.
Yeah. But
and they have to be busy with that defensive backfield. Those linebackers better be busy.
Yeah. But we talk about the comparison, of the 2017 and this current team, and our front 7 now is better than that 2017. They're monsters. I mean, these guys, if you watch the games, I mean, it's taking up all the space in the field. I mean, nobody's really running on them. They're getting a pass rush. I mean, Chandler Jones leads the league in sacks.
Oh, yeah, they're head and shoulders above 2007.
But those teams had Woolfolk and Seymour on them, didn't they?
Yeah, but...
Not Seymour.
Not Seymour?
Yeah, but the linebacking core... I don't know. I just Collins. We've never had a guy like Collins before, right? I mean, maybe Andre Tippett to an extent, right? I mean, Tippett was.
But it was a different game then. You were a run defender as a linebacker. You didn't defend the pass as much as they're called upon to do now. Now you got to be pretty athletic. You're asked to go drop into coverage as much or more and to defend the run.
That Hightower, he can really stop that run.
Oh, I love him. He's my favorite player defensively. Now, who's the most valuable guy on defense? We like to say, who would you take? Collins or Hightower right now if you had to have one?
I don't know. I think Collins does a little more, maybe.
Maybe kind of.
He's more versatile than
but he does the things that kind of stand out more. Maybe a Hightower's a little more consistent.
Hightower's not the 3rd down guy, right?
No, he does. I don't think they ever take him
Hightower was taught most of the time, so he's calling the defenses too. So he'd probably be more tougher to lose.
Yeah, I think he is tougher to lose because I think that
Even though Collins might be a better player.
Athletically.
right.
Yeah.
But when we don't have Hightower in the field, you feel it, right?
Yeah.
And remember, Collins did not play well in the Super Bowl. He had his worst game in a while, and Hightower did not. He had a great game. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he gets taken out too.
Yeah, but I'm impressed with every game Collins does something that really
He's a
drops
monster.
my joy. Oh, wow.
Blocking that extra point when
Yeah.
he jumped over the yeah, we don't have guys like that, right?
No one does.
No, right, exactly. And he was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
Take note, second round. When we didn't have a first-round pick.
They traded back, too.
Yeah, we like to do that. We won't have our first-round pick next year. Thank you, Deflategate. So, if you can hear the silence, guys, that's the trading deadline and us doing absolutely nothing in the trading deadline. And Belichick said that he was more concentrated on the Redskins game than the trading deadline. I'm not buying it. And are you guys
Of course not.
Are you guys surprised that we didn't make any moves? Because we usually make a move.
Well, I'm thinking all those teams in the league, the last guy I want to trade with is Bill Belichick. If he's willing to give a guy up, I don't think I want him.
Right, you're right.
And the rest of the GMs in that league are so conservative, they're all paralyzed, afraid to make a move, that they'll make the wrong move. They're all afraid they'll lose their job by making the wrong move and be exposed. Bill Belichick's like the super liberal of the league, that he's the only one willing to take a chance.
But there's only like 6 or 7 teams that have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So if you're
You're
the
not giving
other,
up that defensive back either.
well, and maybe we weren't willing to give up. I guess we don't have much too. We just
Did
lost.
you see how much they wanted for the Cleveland wanted for Thomas? The Broncos offered the first and second.
I didn't know it was a first and second. They turned that down?
They turned that down. So why do you put him on the block if you're going to turn down offers like that?
Well, you don't get rid of offensive linemen these days.
Yeah, but he's a 10-year veteran. After 10 years, he might be.
The Browns need a lot of
One hit away from...
The Browns need a lot more than Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Who?
He'd be a luxury for the Patriots or the Broncos, but he's still a necessity for the Cleveland.
But you got to hand it to the Broncos. They went out and got Vernon Davis. They destroyed the Packers. So they had a good week.
Oh, very good week.
All of a sudden, they're in play. But we'll mention that in a little bit. The Redskins are this week. So this is a game I've mentioned before that I believe that the Patriots will score 60 points in a game, and I believe this is the game we get to 6-0. This is we have to make them
Absolutely
up.
not.
This is your...
Yeah.
Is this crazy talk?
Yeah, no.
Yes, this is crazy talk.
Right. Oh, it's crazy talk. Now, as you know, I'm at the Boston Sports Medium, and because this is prediction time, because we are going to predict the Redskins game,
Direct descendant of Nostradamus.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to keep all your thoughts in place, right? And I think that after this time, and our show is almost a year old, right? And that my predictions have been remarkable. I've made people who watch a show very rich, haven't I? Because if you follow it,
Rich at this moment.
yes, they are. So I think this. What are we going to call this? This just the keeper of the brilliance. It just keeps all my
Keeper of the Brilliance works, yes.
I mean, it also keeps the heat in my head so I don't lose any. So this is it, guys, and I think it's a nice look for me, right?
We give you the answers and you give us the questions?
Yeah, so I walked into the envelope. This worked out. Before I put it on the show, I walked down Coolidge Corner, and it worked out pretty well. Cops are only there in within a minute. Yeah, it worked well. But people were handing me money, so that was good. Yeah, so I've decided the Boston Sports Medium, my prediction for this week. You just keep on staring at this. You can't stop looking at this. Where do you get that?
He's got a flying carpet, too.
I could have a bikini on right now, and you would still look at the hat. He would.
Well, it's a big jewel in the front.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks good, don't you think? Well, the feather. I could do this and open the shirt if I need to, and with the jewel. All right. So the prediction, and now everyone, and get this down. The Patriots will score 62 points this week. Redskins will score 10. Yes.
Is this on?
Yeah, 62 to 10.
Wow.
The Boston Sports Medium has spoken. So, Joe, hatless Joe McLaughlin.
And distinct lack of hair, too. But I would say the Patriots, I think, will struggle to score 40, much less 60.
Struggling. Isn't it funny when you say struggle to score 40? Have you reached that bar yet?
They score 30 every game.
Right, yeah. And they're going to do that again.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to say 33 to 17.
Okay, all right.
27-10.
Wow, you have a low scoring.
I think Garoppolo's going to finally get in.
Well, you got to know you got him last week?
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah. I think he's going to get a little more.
All right.
So we got to give him a little season for late in the season.
If Tom will let him.
But if you think about it, we're talking about game 8, right? Yeah. Tom runs it. You can't even. I'm wearing this the rest of the show.
No, we can't let him. Garoppolo doesn't live in Brookline, so he can't.
Yeah. Because Tom Brady does.
Right.
Think Tom would wear this hat? If we asked him to? Absolutely. All right. This could be it.
Giselle would never let him take it off.
This could be the start of the Boston Sports Medium gear. This is where it could all start, is this hat.
People would call in and say, where
On
did I
our
get that?
website, they'll be available.
Yeah, they will be available, or eBay. All right, so the Broncos game, which is pretty much the next game on the schedule that matters, right? Right now, we say, because the Broncos are undefeated, that whoever wins that game, and it's in Denver, which we've never had
Much
luck, right, in Denver, whoever wins that game will be hosting the AFC Championship game against the other team.
Right.
What a great game to look forward to, though.
Right. But is that a safe bet to say that?
I think so,
Yeah.
sure. I think so, yeah.
Well, I'd say Denver's probably got a tougher schedule than the Patriots finishing up, but
Well, because they would have the tiebreaker if they won.
yeah, if they ended up tied,
Yeah.
they would have the tiebreaker.
And the only other game that we thought that they might lose is the Jets, and then the Jets last week.
Yeah.
As pathetic as you possibly can get.
Well, we do play both New York teams in the Meadowlands, and the Jets would be at the end of the year. If we have a loss, you're not going to, be killing yourself, and it might mean something to the Jets. They might be playing for a wild card.
Giants game is going to be revenge of the Super Bowls. Oh, because it's every revenge week. I guess the Redskins we're just fighting racism this week. We're just fighting untruths this week, right?
The Maras are the head of the NFL Management Council, which is the organization that is suing Tom Brady and is appealing the decision of Judge Berman.
Yeah.
And it is headed by Mr. Mara.
But remember, the Patriots could never lose to the Redskins, not in any kind of country like that, right? So they need to change that name to, what, Senators?
Yeah, why not?
There you go, right? That, still have a hat. All right, so let's go around the NFL. Can we say that the Packers, after that Denver game, they're phonies? Because we were worried about them in the Super Bowl that we're already in.
Well, I'm not going to call them phonies, but after the way they ended that Seattle game last year and this game, every time the going gets tough, the Packers pack it up and head for the lockers.
No, but Aaron Rodgers isn't. He's a great quarterback.
He is a great quarterback, right? Absolutely. But McCarthy's a terrible coach. Terrible. Yeah. He lost them that NFC Championship.
If he didn't have Aaron Rodgers, he'd be teaching gym somewhere.
Right. Where were the adjustments at halftime?
Yeah.
I mean, they almost got their franchise quarterback killed. I mean, he'd go back and he wouldn't even be able to get planted. Yeah. And they were nailing him. I mean, you got to do something. A screen pass.
Yeah.
Not
going.
A draw play. Just take the heat off him.
So Cincinnati, and my favorite quarterback, Andy Dalton, who's Tannehill times 2. Yeah. They're 7-0.
He's got red hair like Roger Goodell, though.
Yeah, but he just got that stupid. They don't look to him. Do they scare you at all?
No, they don't tackle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They don't wrap anybody up ever. They run right over them, right?
But Andy Dalton.
They all go for the big hit to knock you off your pins. That doesn't always work.
They don't tackle.
But Andy Dalton's not going to torch us, right? No way. No chance. Because you're going to have to score to beat us. You're going to have to be at least in the 30s, right?
Yeah. Well, they got a good running back. That kid's pretty good. Giovanni.
Bernard.
Giovanni Bernard. What's his first name? Giovanni.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm sad that LeVon Bell got hurt, but the last team I want to play.
Trying to lose that game as best they could.
Yeah, well, see, that's because I was more afraid of the Steelers facing them in the first round of the playoffs than I am Cincinnati because of Bell. Bell's tough.
Yeah.
And when he didn't play that game one that we won, but had he played that game, well, we could have been.
I don't know. The Patriots pretty much control that game start.
No, but we don't control Bell. He runs. He's one of those guys in the league that we haven't controlled. So I was a little afraid. Clearly, you weren't. But all right. So I just want to celebrate this, and I don't have any party hats for you.
It's okay.
But viewers
We're able to compete tonight anyway.
I know this is just
anything.
Wow, you are empowered.
I feel it.
It must be.
The world is my iron today. You guys just keep
The
staring.
power of prediction must be flowing through your veins.
No,
Can we have another prediction?
I know what it feels like to be Giselle right now, where men just stare at you. All right, guys, just stop. It's a hat. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. All right.
He knows how to accessorize.
So I forgot the party hat tonight, boys, but we have clinched the division. We have clinched the AFC East. We are 7-0. The Jets, who are in second place, are 4-3 after losing to the Raiders, and there's not a chance that we're losing more than 2 games. So the division's already clinched, right?
I don't think Bill Belichick would say that.
Yeah. He'd have you on the practice squad so fast it'd make your head spin.
So it's T-shirt and this hat.
They give it those kind of hats. Those guys will play like demons.
All right, so you guys aren't buying it that we've clinched the division, or?
I think it's pretty safe.
But I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Oh,
You don't want to jinx them.
really?
Apparently.
Okay.
But you can.
Exactly. I'm wearing this hat.
You're the man who predicted Dominic Easley to go down.
Get injured
in the first quarter of the first game.
Well, I have to tell you something, because I know when you're at games and the Red Sox have a no-hitter going, I'm the guy, because I know everybody's not saying in the crowd, I'm the one who stands up and not even inebriated. I'm the one who stands up like the 5th or 6th inning and screams, "He's flying over here!" Look at the scoreboard, that's no hits! That's...
What kind of reaction does that get from your part?
Not get much of a reaction. All right, so that's our segue into baseball. Boys, the Kansas City Royals are the world champions, which are you glad that they won?
Yeah, they deserved it. They deserved it.
That was, that's the first.
It's good for baseball.
It is good for baseball, right? First time a small market team won since the Twins, I think, in the late 80s. So finally, all these small market teams have hope, right?
Sure.
And anytime a New York team loses in a horrible, never forget fashion, that's a good moment for Boston sports fans, right?
It sure is.
So win-win.
Especially when it's disastrous for the Mets, pays them back for 86.
And so now, if you're Ned Yost, you've got to be really happy, because he's probably the worst manager in the history of baseball to win a World Series,
And they
right?
win despite him. No matter what the man tries to do to lose.
I don't know if it's me, but does that team, they make contact. They don't strike out.
No, right.
Who's their
They
batting
struck out
coach?
the least.
Yeah.
Who's their batting coach? I mean, these guys are contact guys.
Yeah.
But they won because Collins made some wrong moves late in the game, keeping Harvey in and stuff. So Ned Yost is just so happy. Nobody's going
There's some
to...
bad errors, on the part of the Mets defense.
But it was exciting baseball. It's good for baseball.
It's great. It's always great baseball, though.
We always talk, and I agree, and I know you're a hockey guy. I'm not going to say that the baseball playoffs are better than hockey playoffs. I'm not going to say it.
But with that hat, you can.
I can't. Exactly.
He gets away with a lot with that hat.
Pete's like 12 feet taller than me, but not with the hat. I'm fine. But, right, it almost equaled hockey playoffs in the excitement on a night-to-night basis. That's what I felt. That's what I was excited. The games were close. It's why we watch sports.
You had to watch it till the end.
Right.
You had to watch all the games till the end.
Yeah, because you didn't plan to stay up till 2 in the morning, I assume. But how could you go to bed, right?
I had to.
Well, what if that's another thing. I mean, honestly, this is what I've been hearing a lot. Kids, they want kids to love baseball, but they can't watch it.
Yeah.
At its finest hour, they can't watch it.
Right.
Well, TV calls the shots, and TV says, no, we want to start here at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, for the West Coast
is it
market.
Are kids involved in their strategic plan, or is it all about?
Well, the advertisers call the shots, and the advertisers don't care about kids.
Well, you should have
They're not
tickets.
selling to kids, they're selling to adults.
If young people would never even believe this, but of course older people will remember, they used to have World Series games in the daytime, right?
Yeah, I remember watching 67 in the classroom.
Right. Saturday and Sundays.
In school.
Yeah.
Right, so during the week. Wow.
They had it over the PA at our school.
So, talking about the Red Sox and one Clay Buchholz. When you watch the show, you know that I don't like Clay. Okay, there's people like...
I've heard that.
And I dislike greatly, which some people would call hate. That's what I've heard. Okay, so Clay had his $13.5 million option picked up by the Boston Red Sox. Are you in agreement of this?
They love him.
Who's they?
The Red Sox.
You think Dave Dombrowski loves him?
Yeah.
He's an asset, and he doesn't have many pitching assets right now.
But in the pantheon of athletes in this town, we hate
He's not
pathetic athletes.
But he's a pitcher that's got great stuff. Mind you, only half a year every year.
I mean, maybe it's a value play. Maybe you can.
They're looking to trade him.
Well, at some point, you got to have something to get something.
And if you don't pick up the option, you're not going to get anything for him.
Pete, how long would he have lasted on the Bruins?
The Bruins?
Yeah.
First day of training.
Exactly, right? Okay, so on the globe, I want to mention that Clay Buchholz has been on the disabled list 6 straight years. 6 straight years. And some of the horrific injuries that he has faced. I'm going to start in kind of how Clay would tell you how I have spent time on the disabled list because, Pete, 6 years ago I strained my left hamstring. Strained it. Joe, 5 years ago I had a lower back strain. And 4 years ago I had a stomach illness.
Is that really on there?
Yeah. My tummy hurt, Uncle Joe. And I wanted Pablo Sandoval to rub it. And then 3 years ago, I had a strained neck. Strained. Everything is strained.
You got to bed the wrong way, remember?
Yeah. 2 years ago, I had a hyperextended left elbow. I was reaching out.
Yes.
And it's hyperextended. And last year, remember those strains I had the last 5 years? It was the elbow this time. They couldn't even put a pull. They couldn't even say he pulled something, right? Or tore anything.
They just gave a
stomach illness.
They just gave a
stomach illness. Yeah, right. Disabledness.
Yeah.
Everything's a strain. So for 6 years, they haven't bought one of his injuries, right? Because they would have said to him.
Remember they thought he had mono or something? They kept testing him for things, and nothing came up.
He was out for 3 months this year.
He's allergic to bullfrog.
He was out for 3 months this year because of a strain, right? I mean, Joe, you're walking around. How many? Right?
I get a straight all the time.
Yeah, I'm a walking muscle twitch.
Yeah.
What? And yet they're going to give him $13.5 million a year for what? So he can go for a stub toe this year?
Well, look, I know how you feel clearly.
Do you?
But when he's on the first quarter of the season, he's a pretty effective guy.
Yeah, right. But is that how you go about having a steady rotation?
Well, that's why you trade him at the trade deadline and get rid of him.
This guy, he likes to trade now. He likes to make moves now. So you got him, you sign him, you trade him.
Does anyone forget that
then we don't have to give up one of the either of the young catches or Mookie Betts. Maybe you can attract a good frontline pitcher without giving up one of the bigger chips.
There's something about this guy, though. Honestly, that within the system, they love him.
I know, but he's
got great stuff. I mean,
but
that ball
he must mesmerize them in person because he's never in consideration to move.
Wait, he's been around since 2007.
Or maybe no one will take him.
I don't know. He was pretty hot a few times there. He was.
Well,
Didn't he
was he
start the
13
All-Star
and
game
one?
once?
Yeah.
Did he?
Did he?
That year he
Oh,
was
he got hurt.
13
He
and
got
0.
hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course he did. Right.
He was 13 and 1, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making a prediction because the hat is speaking for me. Everything. Oh my God, you can't even imagine the thousands of things that are coming from my head.
Yes, I can.
Maybe they see it on the TV, all the rays coming through. He's going to go to the Cubs. Yeah, I think the Cubs will trade him
That
for him.
makes sense. He's one of Theo's guys. He
And they
even
did-
took Daniel Bard off our hands.
Yeah, right. So I think that's the kind of guy where he's going to go. He has to go to the National League, right? Because that'll be easier for him.
They got to pay him.
Yeah, but now he's going to get hurt running the bases.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be adding a degree of difficulty to his injury list.
But I'm calling right now for an autograph ban. A ban. I don't want anyone who is watching this show to ever ask for Clay Buchholz's autograph again. No.
Because
he's a disgraceful human being and he's stealing money.
And he might
Seriously.
injure himself with the
Yeah, right, exactly, right. And
No sharp
he's
objects.
insulting us all.
I can hurt my finger. Well, I can't take it. So in the time we have left, the Bruins. Pete, we
Can
kind
you
of
make sense of them?
we had written them off, right? And then all of a sudden, now they went on a nice run, right? They went actually out of 14 points, they got 13. They lost to Dallas with Sagan.
Yeah.
Geez, that'd be a nice player to get one of these days, right? And did you watch that game?
Yeah.
I mean, you could feel that Sagan was going to get at minimum a hat trick, right?
Everything was going in for him.
Everything was going in for him. So we don't have a player like that.
We could always reprise when Tim Hoy was here
But
for the reason behind the Sagan trade.
but still, we miss a guy like him. He looks awful good on the Bruins right now, right?
Well, yeah, but there's a reason he's gone. And I will say this, for the record, I like Louis Eriksson.
Yeah, but
He reminds me of Bergeron out there sometimes.
well, he's a complimentary player, but he's not a star. You don't come to watch Eriksson play, and
He wasn't a really guy.
Sagan's a top 5 scorer in the NHL, no matter what team you put him on.
Yeah, well, what about Kessel? They got rid of Kessel, too. He's the same guy.
He's with Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
What a top-heavy team that is.
Yeah.
Got 3 huge stars and nothing else.
yeah, I feel like Sagan's a little more all-around better player than Kessel is. I mean, a little more with the body. I don't know. But do you like this team as it currently stands?
Well, I mean, look, you don't have Seidenberg. That's a huge. He's a rock back there.
Right.
He makes a big difference. Now Kelly's hurt. And
there's a love affair between Kelly, good and bad.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, but I do think that I think they're going to be better than people think.
Okay. All right, we got to wrap it up. Okay. Well, that's our show for tonight. Want to thank the boys. Want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Remember, check out our website at thegrandstanders.com. My name is Scott Kerman. Have a great night.
What are the hats? $29.95.
Yeah, right.